Thank you for joining the September APQC orientation. We'll get started in just a few minutes, but first I want to go over a couple housekeeping items. You have the option to listen to the presentation today through either your computer speakers or dial-in conference line. All phone lines are muted. Please submit your questions using the Q&A tool located on the right side of your screen. You can enter your questions at any time, and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. We are recording today's presentation, and you will receive a copy of both the recording and the slides within a few days. After the presentation, there will be a short survey for you to provide feedback on today's webinar. After the presentation, there will be a short survey. Now I'd like to turn the presentation over to APQC Relationship Manager, Cottrell Wilson.
Hello, and thank you for joining today's APQC orientation. So, who is APQC? We are seen as the world's foremost authority in benchmarking, best practices, process and performance improvement, and knowledge management. APQC's unique structure as a member-based nonprofit makes it a differentiator in the marketplace. APQC partners with more than 500 member organizations worldwide in all industries. Our mission here at APQC is pretty simple. We research and conduct to discover and document world-class business practices. We share those proven methodologies and processes, and we connect and assist organizations around the world in adapting and using benchmarks and best practices. Our core values are that we provide trustworthy answers, so not just quick fixes, but lasting solutions. We have fearless creativity and structured innovation around our process areas. We provide individual contribution for an overall collective achievement, and also continuous learning, sharing, and growth. APQC provides proven, trusted decision support for your business challenges. So for overall process and performance management, APQC's resources help to improve business agility and operational performance with our globally recognized process and performance management tools and best practices. For knowledge management, APQC is seen as the leading source for innovative thinking and the latest research in knowledge management. In the financial management space, we provide resources for your finance organization to respond to the call to add value. For human capital management, the vital information you need for an organization to get the best people doing their very best work. End-to-end supply chain, so we provide resources from strategic sourcing to shipping to help maximize efficiency at every step of your ever-changing supply chain management. APQC has over 550 member organizations worldwide across 45+ industries. APQC houses a network of more than 150,000 professionals dedicated to overall process and performance improvement. We have over 25 years as the leader in knowledge management authoritative resources since 1995. Our online library of research best practices is available to our member organizations, and we do house the world's most widely used process framework, which is also called our process classification framework. Also, you'll hear the term PCF used very frequently. We do house validated, neutral, trusted data through our assessment portal. So as an enterprise member, and you will also hear it named the all-inclusive membership, all employees and all majority-owned subsidiaries across an enterprise have access. You'll see our best practices benchmarking, so you have unrestricted access to best practice reports, case studies, tools, and templates across the enterprise. Our process performance benchmarking, which is also named our benchmarks on demand, you have unrestricted on-demand access to more than 3,400 process measures. You can also customize your peer groups. Our process performance benchmarking, which is called our performance assessment, you have unrestricted access to more than 20 high-level and 25 detailed assessments plus custom services. So you're able to customize your own benchmarking assessment. So if you're pulling in maybe 10 measures from human capital, 10 measures from supply chain, you can customize those assessments through your enterprise level membership. You also have expert review of your open standards benchmarking assessment. Mosaic is our innovative cloud-based solution, which is a member entitlement, which allows organizations to create custom frameworks with unrestricted access to related performance measures and best practices resources. So the Mosaic tool allows you to pull in all of the resources under the membership. We also have our professional development sessions, our webinars, and also events. So as an enterprise member, you have access to all webinars, our Ask the Expert panels, which connects you directly to our research team across the core process areas. You have discounts to our conferences, which are 2 conferences each year, our upcoming process management conference, and then in the spring, we have our knowledge management conference. You have the ability to connect to our research team through private virtual presentations. And then also to our members as a thank you, we provide 2 complimentary tickets to our APQC conferences of your choice. And then our custom services for the enterprise membership is the Ask Us feature. So if you're ever in a place where you're not finding resources online, there is a tool that I'll show you called Ask Us. This allows APQC to do the heavy lifting, so you're not searching and trying to sort through content. Ask Us Plus, that just puts a little fire under our feet. We get the answers to you in a much quicker fashion. And then Hours with the Experts. Through your enterprise level membership, think of this as virtual consulting hours, so you're able to schedule time and allow APQC to really understand what your priorities are and share through our expert research and methodology. And then also the Mosaic Jumpstart allows you to utilize the Mosaic tool, but certainly with advice and support from our experts here at the center. And the functional level membership certainly is a lot similar to our all-inclusive or enterprise level membership, but there are some restrictions. So if your organization starts off saying, we want to focus and understand where the gaps are in supply chain, and you choose to join at the supply chain level, then that just means all of what you'll see and have access to is restricted to end-to-end supply chain and process management. So let's talk a little bit about the APQC resources. Our resource library covers all of our research for 70+ process areas. Our research team applies proven research methods to develop solutions, strategies, and tools to solve your business problems. Working alone and in partnership with our member organization and industry experts, we discover and capture the key processes and enablers behind successful practices. So what you'll see once you start searching through the resource library are 30+ performance assessments, 5,000+ articles, white papers, case studies, tools and templates, you name it, you'll find it here in the resource library. Also, you have access to 3,400 performance measures. Our process classification framework, also known as the PCF, is our most widely downloaded and used piece of content in our resource library. At the simplest level, it's a list that organizations use to define work processes comprehensively and without redundancies. You may be currently utilizing APQC's process classification framework or have a framework of your own. 85% of organizations surveyed use the PCF to help them discover, define, and map their processes. So just to look at the bulleted items, the highlighted items on this slide, organizations use the framework for benchmarking, so to have clear definitions to compare performance across your organization or your peers. For content management, so if you're looking to organize content so employees can find what they need and work together, the PCF is certainly a great tool to help you achieve this. Process definition and management, so to help standardize processes and identify improvement opportunities. For communication, so providing a common language for what work is accomplished in the organization, or even so, what work needs to be done. So defining interdependencies, understanding the dependencies and interconnections across and between processes. And then also performance management, so helping you to establish a process-based structure for measuring and managing performance. So here you'll see we have highlighted the assessments that are here to help our members and non-members alike support every management need. So if you are looking to compare operational key performance indicators to your peers, there is a tool, a resource called the Rapid Performance or Open Standards Benchmarking Assessment. You are able to view more than 45 process areas, including finance and accounting, human resources, product development, end-to-end supply chain, IT, customer service, and more. This report provides you with an output of validated benchmarking information, including your organization's performance relative to your peers in separate industries, region, and organization size peer group. So when organizations start utilizing APQC's resources, they generally begin in our benchmarking resources, our assessments, to start identifying where those gaps are to see where they can quickly improve. We call that the low-hanging fruit. If you're looking to assess your organization's business process management capabilities, APQC has a BPM assessment tool. Of course, it covers the business process areas. It helps organizations to determine the current state of process management within your organization. If you're looking to understand your knowledge management capability, then we have our KMCAT. Of course, this covers the knowledge management area. So what this provides you back is an overall maturity of your knowledge management program, as well as scores for 12 different capabilities. So it helps you to understand how mature your organization is when it comes to knowledge management. Also, if you're looking to find out how your organization's operations, activities, and resource investments compare to your peer, we house research assessment. So this can vary across our current process areas that we support, so end-to-end supply chain, finance, human capital, and knowledge management. What you get back with this report is a summary of survey findings and access to all case studies, articles, and best practices derived from the research. We also have a tool called our Benchmarks on Demand. We call this just-in-time process performance benchmarking. Again, this is an online resource that allows you to access performance data. What you're able to do with this tool is first you select, utilizing over 3,400 measures across 70-plus process areas, including end-to-end processes. You're able to filter and customize your report with peer groups based on industry, region, and revenue size. We have 2 million plus data points from hundreds of participating organizations from around the world. Then you're able to instantly review this report, and you're able to find additional information about the measure, including definitions and formulas. Our Mosaic tool, again, is APQC's resource for managing process in organizations of all sizes, which enables quick and easy adoption of the APQC process classification framework. You're able to create custom frameworks that scale and mature as your business evolves and create a common language around your processes so you can move past defining what the business does and how the work is actually getting done. So we've seen organizations utilize Mosaic if you're part of a centralized or decentralized process function, if you're looking to break through process silos, maybe you're creating process management tool synergy, aligning strategic goals with an overall executive dashboard, or looking to create a custom process framework. If after this session you're interested in having your team see a Mosaic demo, please reach out to your member success manager and we will certainly work with the team to get that arranged. So our upcoming events, which we'll also see on the events tab of our APQC website, we're very excited to host our 7th annual Process and Performance Management Conference, which will be held September the 30th through October the 4th at the adjacent Houstonian Hotel. If you're interested or have any questions about the workshops or the conference itself, I will certainly guide you to the events tab during the live demonstration. And after the session, feel free to look in more detail to see if there's anything that you might be interested in. Our 2020 Knowledge Management Conference is certainly something special where KM practitioners from around the world come and connect with other members and non-members to better understand the changes or strategies or upcoming knowledge management direction. We have our monthly webinars where APQC shares findings from research and trends on topics covering process management, knowledge management, finance, human capital, and supply chain. I always encourage our members and non-members alike, if there's anything that you're interested in registering for or learning about, and if there's a scheduling conflict, go ahead and register for that session, because what we do at the end is send out the audio and slide deck where applicable, even if you're not able to attend. So what we'll do now is a guided tour of APQC so that you can certainly understand how to begin navigating through the website. So as you'll see, I am logged in and I have created my profile on apqc.org. I encourage you as a first step to go ahead and register so that you do have access to the resources under your company's current membership. And what I'm going to do is expand my profile so you're able to see all the things that you have access to. Under your activity, anything that you bookmark will be saved here. Also, any of your benchmarking assessments that you have submitted to, you will see those in your profile. So this is certainly helpful to gain quick access to anything that you've downloaded in the past. All of the upcoming events will be listed down in your profile. A great place to start if you're not sure exactly where to start is viewing the member resources. So we do believe we've done a very good job in collecting those different resources that an organization might need at first glance. So APQC.org, also learning about your APQC, so about the membership, orientation. Also, if you're looking to assess and compare your performance, it'll show you all of the different assessments. Also, if you scroll down a little further, it shows all of the areas that I have covered in the slide deck. So this is a great place to start off if you are new to APQC. So again, I encourage you to go ahead and set up your profile so that you have access to all of these resources under your company's current membership. So going back to the home page, You can either utilize the tools menu, which shows you, again, the resource library, which is where we house all of our content. So best practices, case studies, tools, templates, you name it, you'll find it here. Our benchmarks on demand, a lot of organizations start here to understand where they should begin. So what key performance indicators across core process areas, what does APQC see as being important for an organization? All of our assessments, in which we'll go in deeper so that you can see how those assessments work. The APQC process classification framework, Mosaic. And if we scroll back up to the top, I am going to close the tools menu to also show you that through the menu, you're able to see also those areas. So if you're looking to learn about APQC and our team, you'll see our C-suite of leaders, so all of our leadership team at the very top of the page. And then if you scroll down a bit, you can see our research and thought leaders. So against all of those core process areas that we support, you will see our research team that supports and embed knowledge into our resource library. So again, if there's ever a need to connect with our research team, then reach out to your member success manager and we can arrange time for you to connect and engage with our experts. So you'll see our expertise is across process and performance management, knowledge management, finance, human capital, and supply chain. So just to quickly show you the process and performance management area, you'll see the different ways that APQC supports. So certainly, again, all of our content in our research library aligns to our process classification framework. All of our data in our various assessments is aligned to the framework as well. You'll see an extensive and ever-expanding repository of our research based around our process and performance management resources. You'll also see, again, if you're not sure where to start, here are some great quick finds. So for overall process frameworks and how organizations are utilizing these resources, you can click here, overall performance management, process management, and the data and analytics around process and performance management. You'll see, again, different areas that we've highlighted around process and performance management and any affiliated resources, so benchmarking data, different resource topics, and also content pieces you're able to explore. So we've done a very good job in connecting all of the resources into the different category areas so that our members are able to easily connect to these pieces. So what does APQC specialize in? So if we took a look at our benchmarking, so again, our different assessments help organizations to drive performance across those core process areas. Why choose APQC's benchmarking resources? Well, we provide an unbiased expert advice as far as our benchmarking resources. We house the world's largest database of benchmarks and best practices, so you have access to these resources and also information that you can trust. APQC uses logistical and statistical validation through our benchmarking resources. So if we wanted to get started with our benchmarks on demand, again, organizations, based on the level of membership that you have, this will show you how to access these resources. And this will also provide you with the different levels of access. So if you're enterprise, then again, you have access to all of the process areas. If you are in a functional membership, then you have access to just that functional area. So we are going to view the Benchmarks on Demand user guide. This will take you to the area where you can start the actual assessment. So if I want to get started, here you'll see just a quick summary about the resources. And now I am going to go to the portal. So we have created some pop-ups. So if you are not sure exactly where to go, then you can certainly click here on Show Me. If you want to kind of dig in and figure it out yourself, simply click on that box and it goes away. So you are able to select your measures by topic area, or you can search by name. So what I want to do for sake of the demo, I want to look at all the benchmarks on demand around customer focus, process, and functions. So you see that we have allowed organizations to filter by category. So if you wanted to only look at a certain category, you can filter in that way. You can also filter by your metric ID name if you knew that. So let's just select a few metrics, and you'll see the metrics that you select are in the right-hand corner in your cart. So just as if you were shopping on Amazon or one of those online retailers, this works the same way. So I'm just going to choose three measures, and now I am going to advance and choose my peer group. So you can choose by industry, and for the sake of the demonstration, I'm going to leave it on all industry, your region, and then revenue size. So once you have selected the data cuts that you'd like, I'm going to generate the instant report. Remember, for your benchmarks on demand, you are not inputting any of your organization's data, but what this report allows is for you to start setting targets on where you might want to focus. So I am going to download, you can either download this report by Excel, but the great thing about our website, you can see these metrics in this report instantly. So if I wanted to learn more about the metric, I can simply click on the metric itself, and it gives me a description. Here you'll see the measure category, the measure name, the metric ID, how this particular measure aligns to our process classification framework, and you will see the comparative. So by the 25 percentile for the lower performing organizations, the median, and then the 75 percentile. Here is the sample size of all organizations that submitted to this particular assessment. Anything that you do as far as your benchmarking assessments is always stored in your profile, so you have access to these resources. So as far as benchmarking, if I wanted to go to all of our other assessments, which are our rapid performance assessment, and then also our open standards assessment. You also see our capability assessment, so that business process management assessment that I spoke of earlier, and also the KM capability assessment tool will be housed here. All of the research assessments, which are driven by our research team, you will see here. So I will scroll down and go into one of our more detailed assessments. So if I wanted to look at the finance and accounting assessment, here you'll see the different levels of assessments that are available. So let's just go into accounts payable. Here you'll see two different levels of assessments that you can participate in. Excuse me. And we will go into our accounts payable and expense reimbursement performance assessment. So here you'll see just a short summary about the actual assessment. And here we can download the survey to start the assessment. What I'd like to show you is, one, the performance measures that are associated with this assessment. Excuse me, anytime you populate an assessment to begin, the first page will always be the same. It's an indexing page. So it identifies all of the components of the assessment. So A is the survey name, B is the category of measure, and so on and so forth. When you advance to the second page, this will start to show you the actual measures for the assessment. So again, your measure category ID, the actual measure itself, Here you'll see the formula. I know this looks a little alarming, but these are just question numbers. So question number 280.0560 divided by question number 280.0540 will give you your personnel cost to perform the process accounts payable per process full-time equivalent. APQC sees this particular measure as a key performance indicator. It may not necessarily be so in your organization. So if we scroll back up and went back into this particular assessment, excuse me, if you wanted to see what a report looks like, so when you submit your assessment to APQC, we take it through a validation process. Again, it's logistical and statistical. If anything seems out of line with the way that APQC designed the measures, we reach out to you to make sure that you've understood the measure in the appropriate manner. So what you'll always see is your organization's cover page, your table of contents, which provides you with an executive summary, survey scope and demographics, your organization's qualitative and quantitative data, the overall executive summary, which provides best practices and relevant comparisons in addition to instructions, the overall scope and demographics. We also highlight those key performance indicators, and it will be by all participants, and then those data cuts that you've chosen. You'll also see other performance indicators, supplemental data, which is typically nice to have information. It's not necessarily decision-generating data. You'll also see your organization's qualitative information, and then just a short summary about APQC at the end. So again, organizations have full access to these assessments based on your level of membership. Certainly, if there are ever any questions when beginning your benchmarking journey, reach out to your member success manager, because we do have live analysts that support our open standards benchmarking. So if there's a need to maybe walk through the assessment prior to submitting, we can arrange for an analyst time to support and walk you through this assessment, so that when you're taking the benchmarking assessment, you are doing so with the highest level of confidence. So if we looked at our research through our resource library, here you'll see just a quick overview of our APQC sponsored research opportunities. So if there's ever any interest through any of our providers, our professional services firm, they work with our research team to develop topics and see if this is something that would support our member organization. Under the research services, you'll see that what we do on a monthly basis is pull out 2 content pieces roughly. It could be maybe the current trends in the industry, or maybe just something that our research team feels is very well written. You'll see that under each of the different process areas. You'll also see our current and upcoming research that will populate into our resource library. So these are all of the different process areas that we support. And what I'll do also is take you to the resource library so that you can see how you can begin to search through the resource library to find the content that you're looking for. So once an organization has gone through the benchmarking assessments to identify where your gaps are, they search the resource library to find those best practices to quickly improve. There is an Ask Us feature. This is a member entitlement. Certainly, if you don't have the time to find exactly what you're looking for, or maybe you just need to quickly connect with our research team, type in exactly what you're looking for, Utilize the topic drop-down feature, and this goes to our research team and allows us to do the heavy lifting. This is a member entitlement, so certainly feel free to utilize this area as much as possible. When we find the content and identify exactly what it is that you're looking for, we send you an email with hyperlinks that takes you directly to that content. And certainly if we don't have what you're looking for, we respond in that fashion as well. So you'll see that all of our content in our resource library aligns to our process classification framework. You are able to search by topic area. You're able to search by resource type. So if you only wanted to see best practices around supply chain, you click on that box and I'll show you once you type in to the free text field, that will only populate best practices for supply chain. If there was a particular content type that you were looking for, then you can search in that manner. And then also by industry. So I am going to scroll back to the top and type in supply chain. And I also want to scale my search down a little bit. So I only want to see best practices around supply chain. So here you'll see that 96 pieces of content populate. So you'll see articles, tools, and templates. We even have some of our benchmarking data. We have our benchmarking data, my apologies, within the resource library, so you are able to quickly connect to these resources. So if I clicked on tools and templates around collaboration approaches for supply chain, you're able to quickly read a summary around this. Also, if any content is a part of a collection, we highlight that so that you are able to easily look at other pieces of content that are a part of that collection. So I want to just download this content piece. So you'll see for the collaboration approaches for supply chain, here is the content around best practices. Anything that you ever see hyperlinked in a content piece, as long as you click on that, it takes you right to that other content. And again, anything that you download is stored in your profile, so it's easily accessible for you. And you're always able to, again, go directly back to the resource library to do another search or search in another fashion. Again, if there's ever any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us directly so that we can support you. We also have our advisory services. So when members need, or non-members alike, I should specify that, have any questions or need a deeper understanding, enlist APQC's experts. We provide unbiased expert advice as a nonprofit research organization. Our mission is to advance the disciplines of process and knowledge management. Also, we help our organizations and provide a tailored approach to deliver value. So we customize all of our training and also consulting engagements to ensure that our approach and solution meets your very specific needs. We focus on knowledge augmentation, so not staff augmentation. We take a facilitative approach to our work. That means we focus on instilling knowledge, building capabilities, and improving your organization to implement sustainable change. So we teach our organizations how to fish. So if there are any questions or you'd like to speak with our advisory services team on how APQC can support you above and beyond membership, please don't hesitate to reach out to you so that we can begin to connect you with our experts. Our members do receive 20% off of any of these engagements. So also, I would like to highlight the events tab. So if you're interested in registering for any of our webinars or our upcoming conferences, you'll see the details around, again, our 2020 Knowledge Management Conference. We are already underway for our call to speakers so that we do have the best and brightest minds that attend and support our Knowledge Management Conference. Our upcoming Process and Performance Management Conference, again, is September the 30th through October the 4th, held here in Houston. So you'll see our workshop kicks off our week from September the 30th through October the 2nd, and then the actual conference is October the 3rd through the 4th. So if you have any questions around the schedule or pricing or details around the session, here is where you can find all of the information. Again, if your member success manager can do anything to support, please feel free to reach out to us. We will do our very best to answer any questions. Also, our events, so our webinars and community calls, again, are held all month. So you are able to sort by topic area. If you only wanted to look at maybe financial management, webinars or community calls, you can search by topic or even by types of content. Again, if there's a schedule conflict, go ahead and register because, again, where applicable, we do send you the audio and slide deck. And those are the different areas of our APQC resource library and benchmarking portal. Again, about APQC shows you our team, our story, our culture, or any thing that we've had as far as published in the news, our expertise, so around process and performance management, KM, finance, human capital, and supply chain, what we do, so our benchmarking assessments, our research, our advisory services for any of our education members, or if you'd like to learn more about how APQC supports in the public education sector. Our resource library is where we house all of our content, our tools, our templates, you name it, you'll find it there. About the membership, so you'll see the membership types, the benefits and values of the APQC membership, a list of our current members, and then also what we've done is shared some of our member stories, of course, with their permission and adhering to certainly our code of conduct. We've published the success of some of our members. Our events tab allows you to see our upcoming webinars and our conferences, and also I'll highlight our blog. So if you are someone that's interested in reading or learning in a more creative fashion, I encourage you to follow our APQC blog. This allows our writers to have a little bit more freedom on how they deliver. So certainly they have a great time sharing and creating content in a more, again, creative fashion. So I encourage you to follow our blog. So what I'll do now is go back to our slide deck to show you more about the APQC resources. So the peer-to-peer search, and based on confidentiality and GDPR, I am not able to go in and pull up any company names, but this is a great resource for our members to engage, collaborate, and connect with other experts. When a company becomes a member, we do ask, is it a priority for you to, one, expand your professional network. 2, be able to collaborate and knowledge share with other member organizations. And the answer is always typically yes. I'd like to engage with other members in that fashion. So what you're able to do through our peer-to-peer search on our website, if you knew a person's first and last name, you can search in that way. If you wanted to search by organization or by a combination of industry, country, and maybe the primary area of interest, you simply utilize those drop-down features, and what it will provide you is a list of other members that said, yes, I'd like to engage and connect and expand my professional network. What you do is click on the button that says send email. It's blinded, and that member accepts. It will show them that it's coming from someone in the APQC peer-to-peer network, and then your information is exchanged. The only rule of thumb that we have here is you generally do not ask an organization anything that you'd be uncomfortable with sharing yourself. If you'd like to connect with a member in a more formalized fashion, please feel free to reach out to your member success manager and we will make the introduction. So a quick benefits recap. I know this is an abundance of information that I've delivered to you, but what this slide deck shows is, as a member organization, certainly on the highest level of membership, you have comprehensive access to all of our resource areas. Membership includes all employees and every majority-owned subsidiary. So share this with a colleague. Certainly, any way that we can support, please let us know. You have access to best practices resources, so through APQC's online searchable library containing best practices reports, case studies, tools, and templates, you'll find it in our resource library. You're able to benchmark and assess your organization's performance through instant benchmarks and comprehensive performance assessment. The Ask Us feature is a member entitlement, so it provides you with personalized responses to your process and knowledge management questions. Allow us to do the heavy lifting. We do have our expert-led webinars, so live online presentations covering industry trends and the latest findings from APQC research. Also, you have your organization's dedicated APQC member success manager. We are here to assist you with your request and make the most of your membership. Our additional services just highlighted on this page are advisory services to equip your organization with strategies and approaches and tools to gain the maximum value from your investments and process and knowledge management. We have our training, so it's delivered by our APQC subject matter experts on courses that are tailored to your culture, business needs, and challenges. Custom benchmarking. So if you're looking to get benchmarking data which is a bit more customized, or if there's a topic that APQC is not covering, allow us to set up some time with our research team to see if this is something that we're able to deliver for your organization. This process is typically a 3 to 6 month process, but certainly we can go through this over a phone call to help understand what your needs are and how APQC can support. And also the Mosaic Accelerator gives your organization's process and performance management capabilities a jumpstart with the Mosaic Accelerator. It's a program designed to advance the adoption of your process framework in Mosaic and improve your measurement and governance capabilities. Again, all of our advisory services, additional services, our members receive a 20% discount. So the next steps for you are to, 1, ensure that you've taken the time to register and access and unlock your membership entitlements through the corporate membership. The second step is to go to your member resources page to get started. So now what we'll do is open the floor for any questions that you might have.
Okay, the first question is, could you please explain what are validation processes for benchmarking data?
Sure. So the validation process is a statistical and logical validation What I can do at the end of this call is send those details over to you so that you can understand the step-by-step validation process.
Thank you so much. Previously, you had a knowledge base. What is the new name for that?
That's a great question, and thank you for reconnecting. So our knowledge base is now called our resource library. And the reason that we've done a change is all of our resources are now available through the knowledge base. We've adhered to the voice of member of our customers, which are our members, because there were issues with going from one place to the next place to find all of these resources. So we do believe that we've done a very good job in putting everything in the resource library.
What types of memberships are there?
That's a great question. So there are two levels of membership for our industry clients. So there is the functional level membership where you are focused on one particular process area and you have access to resources, say for example, under the supply chain membership. It would be access to end-to-end metrics under supply chain and then all of our resources, so content, webinars for supply chain. If an organization has an all-inclusive, also called the enterprise membership, that's all of the core process areas that we support, all of the benchmarking data resources. And then we also have our professional services membership.
Perfect. This is the last question we'll have time for, but if my organization is not using the APQC process classification framework, would the benchmarking data still be applicable?
That's a good question. So if your organization is not utilizing the APQC framework and you already have established benchmarks or key performance indicators, what you can do is submit that to APQC if you, one, have a member success manager, or two, you can utilize the benchmarking area of our website, and what we can provide back to you is a parallel comparison of benchmarks that are similar, that provide you with the same output as the ones that you are currently collecting.
And that's all the questions we have time for today.
Thank you, and we look forward to engaging and connecting with your organization. Have a great day.